We started in '02 by setting a land speed record for pickup trucks, a record which we previously held with the GMC Cycle and Banks project for 11 years. I decided let's beat that with a diesel. But the difference was, instead of being a trailer queen that arrived at the salt flats in a trailer, we towed our trailer to the salt flats with the racer, got 24 miles per gallon, and reached a peak speed of 222 miles an hour. We later took it on the Hot Rod Power Tour, and it was the most economical and fastest vehicle on the Hot Rod Power Tour, and this is a pickup truck. Then we did the pickup truck on steroids. There's a large photograph in our display behind me of that S10. Cummins Common Rail was our first record-setting effort, and we followed it with a Duramax, a GM Duramax, and an S10 pickup. It is the first and only drag race pickup to run in the sevens. It's run a 772 at 180 miles an hour. There's more there, but we're about a half a second quicker than any other competition. So we've decided to move forward to the dragster. And I'm really proud of what the guys have done with this one. If we can start pulling the cover, please. I went to a dear friend by the name of Mike Spitzer for the chassis. Made a few trips to Indianapolis where Mike has a shop. Talked about the concept, talked about the off-idle power, how much power we have leaving the line, and then we ended up with a 276-inch wheelbase. So overall, the car is close to 300 inches. The car has a slip joint chassis, which means there's two sections of the chassis that can slip apart to the upper tubes, which allows the front end to arch. The whole idea being keeping the front wheels on the ground and absorbing some of that instantaneous energy as you leave the line in the chassis. So that's it. There are two tuning points in the chassis. Mike Spitzer started making back-motor cars about the same time as Don Garlitz. He's been at it for 98 years. So if you notice a name on the car, I'm honoring somebody. You'll find somebody's name on the car. And it's not just one guy, it's two guys. When you see the snake on the side of the car, you'll probably figure out who the other guy is. So what this is an NHRA top dragster. This is the epitome of the sportsman racing in NHRA. It runs under the Lucas Oil Racing Series. And it's the first car of its type intended to race in that series. I don't know of another diesel dragster currently running an NHRA top dragster. There have been two other dragsters I'm aware of that have been running for quite a while. One of them has gone over 200 miles an hour, and it has gone in the 60s. I don't think that's a record yet, because to set a record, you have to do it twice on the same day, and you have to do it within 1%. So I've still got a little breathing room here, and it's kind of slow in the racing world right now until the spring. So we intend to go to Arizona, to a little place called Speed World, and start working the kinks out of this thing. Last time we were on the dyno, this 6.6-liter Duramax was at 1,280 horsepower. We're not done. We're evolving. The engine management is Banks and Bosch. We are evolving in parallel a marine engine program, and I'll announce today for the first time anywhere, Gale Banks marine engines, and the marine engine is right here at the front of the dragster. We are the exclusive worldwide supplier to the marine industry of the 6.6-liter Duramax. We signed that with GM Powertrain just a few weeks ago. So it's been a long time evolving, but in hopes of it, the signing, which we did with GM a few weeks ago, we've developed an ECU that allows us to run the marine engine, and it's also on the dragster. So it's a motorsports / marine engine control unit, which is the key element here. Without that, you don't have a marine engine or a diesel dragster. Our hope is to set a record before anybody else, over 200 and in the sixes. That's the desire. But more importantly, this car is intended to show ultimately the total prowess of diesel power. We will follow it with a streamliner. So we've done the street pickup truck speed record, and we still hold that record. It's an FIA international record. I've had somebody nipping at my heels on that for the last 5 years. Our two-way FIA is 217 and change. They got my national record, which was 250. So they're getting close. We're not going to go back and run that thing again. I think there's a 240 in that truck, but we're not going to run it again until somebody kills our record. In the meantime, it's the dragster and then the streamliner. Our streamliner has already been 382 with a 300-inch 1953 DeSoto in it and a 12-second hook blower and about 40% nitro. That's about 950 horsepower or 1280. We just need to make that live for 120 seconds above 1,000 horsepower, and we figured we could knock on the door of 400 miles an hour with the diesel. Good old American hot rod diesel. One engine, rear wheel drive. It's just a hot rod. In fact, the technology is very much like this dragster, only our streamliner is 32 feet long and 28 inches wide. So a little bit different. It has a vertical stabilizer on the rear. So you'll see that coming. The whole idea is to move diesel into the mainstream on the street as well as on the track. So we have a range of new things coming beyond this. We have a Volkswagen Jetta that we're going to move from diesel is fun to diesel is sexy in alignment with Bosch. That'll be an interesting project to do. It's a kind of an entry-level $21,000 car. It's 40 miles to the gallon. The Jetta is going to be very popular with those who are hip to fuel economy, and also those of the Gen Y category who are kind of driving the mentality of what is hip in the country. And the Gen Xers, of course, they're aging, but they're still there too. So we're doing diesel from top to bottom. We're working on Class 8 trucks right now. We've got some major fleets in the United States. I'll have to say maybe the biggest one in the United States has approached us for fuel economy. So we're into that. And the engine that's in this dragster is the most fuel-efficient engine we've ever tested in 50 years of Banks engineering. I'll say it again. This is the most fuel-efficient engine I've ever tested in my life. And it's a racing engine. We want to take the technology we built here with high-speed diesel and kind of move it down into the hot rod market. So you've got guilt-free performance. We trademarked that term. Guilt-free. So, and green and all of the other stuff. Guilt-free is the overall umbrella for that. I will invite any questions you guys might have. I'm here for the duration. Thank you so much for coming this morning, and hope to see you at the races when we bring this thing out and take some laps. Thank you very much.